Welcome to the Pearls of Wisdom podcast, where we mix business, law of attraction, spirituality, and well-being with great guests and phenomenal stories. You'll hear hints, tips, and up-to-the-minute information on digital communication from an expert in her field. Pearl has some wonderful individuals in her networks, and she will be interviewing them all at some point in the future. Enjoy your listening.
Hello and welcome to the Pearls of Wisdom podcast. And today I am so pleased to announce that we have a returning guest in Stephanie Thompson from Stephenie Thompson Coaching. And it is brilliant to have you back, Steph. Welcome.
Thank you very much indeed. It's wonderful to be here.
Now then, lovely lady, can I ask you, I've been looking. The last podcast we did was on the 22nd of April. Where has the time gone?
That's nearly 3 months. With what, 5 days short of 3 months? Good grief. That's an inordinate amount of time.
So tell us, Steph. Now, I know because I follow your journey on a daily basis. But tell the listeners, what have you been doing for the last 3 months? What exciting stuff can you share?
You know something, Pearl, my business has gone from strength to strength. I cannot believe how much it has grown over this last 6 months. And when you think I do what I teach, it's just mind-blowing. So every step that I do in my own business, I teach to all my clients. I don't do anything different to what I teach. So, you know, just realising how much my business has grown over the last 6 months has blown my mind. One of the big things is the fact that I've gone into Serenity Radio. Like yourself, I'm one of the presenters. I've got a 12-week show and I am loving creating the material for that. Absolutely loving it. And as you say, there's wonderful souls in Serenity like Sarah Ibrahim and Elle Welsh, and it's just fantastic. And I know there's lots more. Michelle Grieve, I know there's loads more wonderful souls in there. It's just gone from strength to strength since we last spoke, Pearl. I can't believe it.
Yes, well, I know because the listeners should know, if they follow me, I connect with Steph practically every day. I think there was a time when I was calling you at least 5 times a day and you must have thought, oh my God, it's that woman again, because there was me calling you.
Your call is always welcome, Pearl, anytime. Because it just helps me. The thing is, when I'm talking with you, you ask questions and it helps me confirm what I know, how it's working, etc. When I ask you questions, you share, and that helps me confirm. So it's a wonderful two-way, so you can ring as often as you like. It's not a problem.
Brilliant. Now, Steph, I know because I've been on your VIP challenge ever since you first started doing that, and the leaps and bounds I've seen in my business is just fantastic. Can you let the audience know a bit more about this challenge? Because I would recommend to every one of the listeners, make sure you get these details, because my business grows every time I take part in this challenge.
So I run the Get Cracking VIP program. It is a 4-week program, and I encourage my clients to take 60 steps in 4 weeks. Those 60 steps cover 3 areas. There is the mindset, there is time management, and there is actually setting up the foundations of your business. So my ideal client is somebody who has learnt their coaching and gets fantastic results with their clients, who tend to be family, friends and friends of theirs. And now they are looking to set up their business and start attracting paying clients. But because they've spent life in corporate or whatever, setting up a business and getting a coaching business off the ground is very, very different. So in those 60 steps, I take them on a journey, and it starts nice and gentle, and then it gets a little bit busy, and by the end of it, they are attracting clients. So I help them using only free systems. That's the point. It's using only free systems because, in my opinion, you shouldn't start a coaching business in debt. You shouldn't have forked out, okay, you've had to learn your coaching skills in whatever format that is. But then to actually spend out more money to set your business up when you can do it with using free systems is really important. So I share with them how to get testimonials if they've worked with people but haven't got anything written down, how to set up their Calendly account so that they can get people booking into their diary, how to set up Zoom so that they can actually talk to people on the screen, how to, I love Canva. Oh, I could lose hours in Canva. Canva is a software. You can use a free version where you can create your PDFs, your logos, your handouts, your memes. I've just spent yesterday, I think it was, creating memes, and I've just thoroughly enjoyed it. It absorbs hours, Canva does, but it's so wonderful. And I think you use, now then, what do you use? What do you use? Pick Story do you use? What is it that you use?
I use Canva,
Yeah.
but I also use, Word Swag, and I use Story Swag. Now, Story Swag...
That's right.
They you have to pay just a short piece. Story Swag is a monthly payment. Word Swag, you just pay a one-off to use the app. But I use Canva as well. When you say yes, I've got certain things when I'm doing my videos, when I'm doing the thumbnail for the start of my video and the introduction, I make those in Canva.
Fabulous.
And I have also treated myself from Done For You Divas on, all right, it's a paid template, but then you can personalise it for introductions, for coaches, so you can do a welcome pack and you can pull together your own journal. So watch this space. Once I've got that, it's something that you can print it out. You've got all of this and loads of different stuff, and I'm thinking, yes. So yes, it's all from you showing me Canva, because I tried Canva years ago. And I couldn't get on with it. But this is me. I never read the instructions. If I can't do it straight away, and I think, well, I'm tech savvy, I know how to do this. And I know from the Steph's VIP program, second time she ran it, because I refused to admit I couldn't do it on the first time. And I had a one-to-one session with Steph to show me how to use Canva, because certain bits, once you know it, it's simple. But if you don't, bits of it isn't as intuitive as you think it's going to be. But it's wonderful.
No, I agree. But that said, one of the brilliances of the Get Cracking VIP is once you've paid, you're in it for life. So every time I run the program, which is 3 or 4 times a year, you can come in and you can do the 60 steps again, and it is available to you 24/7 as well. And where was I going with this story? Oh, so each time I've tried to, because you've been in it right from the beginning, haven't you, Pearl?
Yeah.
I've tried to add something in that will be new for those who've already done it, so that they want to see what else is new. So what I've introduced is how-to videos. If you recall, they weren't in the very first time I ran the program. And so I've taken time and I have recorded, and these how-to videos are only 2, 3, 4 minutes long, and I show my clients how to set up a Canva account, how to create a document in Canva, how to set up the Calendly account, how to set up MailChimp, how to create a landing page in MailChimp, which link to use to send out to clients so that they sign up so your email list grows. All of that sort of stuff is actually all included in the program. And it sounds a hell of a lot, but what you have to remember is it's a little bit each day. And the clients get to talk to me 3 times a week. So I do group coaching 3 times a week, and everybody can jump on. And I usually do a recap on what we're learning those 2 days, don't I? Yeah. And then I sometimes do a tiny teach. And today's was, what was today's? Business foundations and finances. So that's an extra bit that I've put in today. And then this cohort, I've introduced guest speakers. So Wednesday night, we had Jamie Hayen, and she was all about how to get on camera and tell your story. And actually, Pearl, you're going to be a guest speaker soon.
I am.
So you're coming to share your wisdoms. So I take the clients on a journey, and they do a little bit each day. And I'm there to support them each day, either through a how-to video or on a call. I'm showing them every step. So you can literally watch the 2-minute video and do it. Watch another 2-minute video and do it. And you can build your business very, very quickly. As I go forward, I'm sure there'll be other opportunities that I can build into it. But what I also do, Pearl, so that's the Get Cracking VIP program. 60 steps in 4 weeks to get you from nothing to having strong foundations in place and posting your story, your ideal client, your testimonials, your offer. And that's another thing. We talk about offers in there, don't we? Your valuable free offer and your freebie and all of that sort of thing. And I share all my templates that I use in my own business today. I share them all. And, you know, I look at my journey, and I am an international, what am I? Best-selling, #1, international best-selling co-author. That's one thing. I'm the international radio presenter. I've been interviewed on TV. I've been interviewed on radio. I've got clients all over the globe, New Zealand, Australia, America, and I teach exactly what I do. I'm not doing anything different, and everything that I've done, I teach to my clients. So if they're willing to do the work, if they're willing to step up and put the effort in, they can achieve it just the same. So to enhance all of that, I've also got a membership program, which is a much gentler pace. And Pearl, you're in that too, aren't you, my lovely?
I'm in everything you do, Steph, because it's brilliant.
You are. And so I have a membership which is called the Get Focused Membership Vault, and in there is a masterclass once a month. First of the month I put a masterclass in with all the supporting how-to videos, and then I have a call at the start of the month to go through the workbook, and then I have a call in the middle of the month that's a tiny teach, which could be anything depending on what the clients have asked me for. So again, they can talk to me twice a month. So it all enhances. So when you're in the VIP and the membership, you can see an awful lot of me in one particular week. It's all good. It's all good. So yeah, and we've got clients. So I've already got clients across America and the UK in both programs. So I am very, very fortunate, and I'm very grateful for that.
And you are absolutely brilliant at what you do, Steph. I love working with you. And when I see the results, Steph and I support each other quite a lot. And Steph will probably agree with me. Yes, I know my subject inside and out. But when I first started working with Steph, I think my ego got in the way for quite a while, because there was me, this corporate being that was used to consulting at director, CEO level, and suddenly I knew all this stuff, but I couldn't get it out of my head to put it on paper. And there's me thinking, I can do this. And I did Steph's free challenge first, which got fantastic results. Then I went on to the VIP program, and literally when I did the work, and this is the important bit, when I did the work, the results came. Because yes, it will go in fits and starts, and you have to be motivated to do it, because everything works. And it's now got what Steph teaches is so embedded in my processes now, I do it automatically. So
Yes.
the 3 tasks she teaches you, I do that every day without fail. It's in my diary and I look at that and I've got into that habit. But nothing is a magic wand. What any of us teach you, it will work, but only if you put the effort in as well. Because I know the first time Steph ran her course, yes, I loved it. And she's saying, oh, what are you going to do for your free offer? I've still got my free offer from that very first challenge sat on Canva because I had the shiny syndrome, shiny object syndrome, and I wanted to do this and I wanted to do that. And I thought, no, I'm going to do a paid thing first. But it didn't work because I didn't follow the process that Steph lays out and teaches you to do. Now, from that, I've actually done it, and I've done a 3-day challenge, which is something that Steph has taught us, and it's something that you offered in your monthly program as well, wasn't it?
Yes, the mechanics of a 5-day challenge is in the membership, and it literally takes you through the 42 days up to and beyond what to do to run a 5-day challenge. Now, I know you chose 3, which is absolutely fine. You've got to go with what's ideal for your client, etc. But yes, you did. You followed it and you did it. And it was a fabulous, fabulous challenge. And you made some fantastic connections. And that led you onto your retreat, didn't it?
It did. It did. And that, again, I go back from this wonderful lady. If I hadn't been working with Steph and getting those prompts, I might have got there, but it would have been a lot slower because we bounce off each other and we can think of ideas and everything. And this is where I'm so excited to share with the audience and the listeners just what's happening in your business, Steph, because you were groundbreaking anyway. I think we're both of us, I mean, some of our networks, we were all moving at the same speed, and we suddenly saw all these things coming up where people were doing their challenges, and you thought, yeah, go put that on the radar. And then Stephanie Thompson started her challenge, and it was wonderful. And you have just shone. And something you haven't mentioned that you keep very quiet about is all the work you've done with Tony Robbins. Are you allowed to share any of that with us?
So I've been on my own personal journey to get to where I am today. And I've been married twice, divorced twice, a relationship I moved out to France for. I live in the UK. I moved out to France for, didn't work out. All sorts of things came tumbling down. And I decided to go on a personal journey. And what happened was I got an email, totally unexpected, no idea where I got this email from. And it said, Tony Robbins is coming to England. Do you want to come and join him? And I thought, yes. So I emailed my daughter and I said, Sam, shall we go? She says, Mum, let's make sure it's kosher first. She's very sensible. She takes after her mother. She's very sensible. And so we checked it all out, and Samantha and I went down to see Tony Robbins. And this was in 2000, gosh, 5-6 years ago. Anyway, whenever it was. Thoroughly enjoyed it, so much so I signed up there and then for his Mastery University. I then signed up for his Mastery Leadership, and I'm now one of his senior leaders. I've been all over the world with Tony. I've crewed, I've supported, I've participated, I've coached, you name it, I've done it. I've been to Holland, I've been to Fiji, I've been to the UK, and I've been to both sides of America, and God knows what else. So yes, it's been quite a busy few years. Thoroughly enjoyed it. I'm now one of his senior leaders, and obviously all of Tony's teaching has gone into the stuff that I then teach out. I don't teach Tony's tools, it's my learnings, and I share my journey. At the same time, I encountered Yvette Taylor and energy alignment method, and again, Samantha, she's got a lot to answer for, my daughter. She enters competitions, and she's emailed me and said, Mum, enter this competition. And as a dutiful mother, I did. And I got this little letter back saying, energy alignment method. Sorry, you have not won our prize. However, we'd like to give you a free ticket. Come and attend. You can come to Manchester or Birmingham or wherever. I will be honest, I thought it was to do with gas and electric, but never mind. This is how naive I was. I was not part of the woo-woo world. I had spent 20 years working with engineers. I worked in Rolls-Royce Aerospace. It was male, black and white, straight lines. Woo-woo did not come into my world until this energy alignment method, which I originally thought was gas and electric. Anyway, I had this plan. My plan was, so I live, I think it's something like 40 minutes from Birmingham. I would go to Birmingham. I would start the day and I would stick it out. And when it came to coffee time, because there's always a cup of coffee involved somewhere, when it came to coffee time, if I didn't like it, bearing in mind I still thought this was gas and electric, if I didn't like it, I would just go and fetch a cup of coffee and keep walking out the door and go shopping in Birmingham for the day. That was my plan. Okay, so dutifully turned up, registered, filled out forms, had no idea what I was letting myself in for, went with an open mind, and it started talking about energy alignment and auras and chakras and laws of the universe, and a whole different world opened up for me, massive whole different world. But I was sort of, shall I, shan't I, will I, won't I? And it came to coffee time, and I still wasn't sure. So I decided I'll go and spend a penny at the ladies, and I would have a cup of coffee, and then I would decide. And as I was walking in, there was a lady walking out, or it could have been the other way around. And this lady said, oh, I like your jacket. My mother's got a tablecloth made of seersucker. Now, that lady is now one of my bestest friends. And Pearl knows who it is because it is Mrs. Megan Messenger. And she was also of the same mind that she would go and see what it was, and she would always, or could always leave. Well, we got talking, and I don't think we've stopped talking since all these years. So we finished the day, and we've been best mates ever since. And that's where we got to meet you, Pearl, you wonderful soul. So, there's a reason for everything. But my point is my own personal journey. I have done the Tony Robbins, standing on the chairs, high vibration, loud music, dark rooms, woo-woo sound and everything else. And then I've done this Yvette Taylor energy alignment method, gentle energy alignment, just go with the sway. So I've been indoctrinated by both. And with energy alignment. So yes, I'm a senior leader for Tony Robbins. For energy alignment, I've done my personal journey, I've done my mentor training, I've done my business training, I have coached beautiful people through their 10-month journey. I am now an assessor for the new mentors coming through. So as you can see, I have sort of indoctrinated myself with both. But what I teach in my challenge and my VIP program and my membership is just a combination of all sorts of what works for me and got me to where I am today. So my challenge, which is a free challenge, you can come and do it free, no money exchanges hands at all, and that's all to do with how to conquer the overwhelm, reclaim time in your day, and get focused fast. And we do it over 5 days. And I'll be most intrigued if you can, if anybody knows what my 5 Ps are, because I've got 5 Ps that I teach.
Now I can't remember the 5 Ps. I know I follow them. And when I read it all in your workbooks, and I think, yes, but that shows my shiny object syndrome a bit. How many times have I said to the listeners, Steph will say to me, how have I changed the workbook from the previous challenge? And then I said to Steph, the last time you ran it, not the time currently, the time before, I said, Steph, I actually read every bit of the book because I'm terrible. I skim read. And so I picked all these things. So this is why I always pick something new every time you run the challenge. So, Steph, I will ask you, can you share the 5 Ps with us, please?
Well, the 5 Ps go like this. There is Pareto's law, which is 80-20. So you will achieve 80% of your work in 20% of the time, but then you'll spend 80% of your time doing the last 20, which isn't necessary because we can take imperfect action. And that leads us on to perfectionism. Perfectionism is the lowest standard. This is what Tony says. It's the lowest standard because you'll never, ever get it right. So it's better to take imperfect action than put off and do perfect action, which leads us on to procrastination because we put things off. And perfectionism is a form of procrastination. And procrastination is we put things off because we have a fear of being visible, or we have a fear of imposter syndrome, or we have a fear of not having the confidence, which is where EAM comes in because we can sway it all away. So we've got Pareto's law, we've got perfectionism and procrastination. Then we get on to Parkinson's law. Now, Cyril Parkinson was a historian, I think, in the early 20th century. I think that's right. He realised that if you had all day to do something, it would take you all day to do it. So let me give you the opposite example. If you're working in the corporate world, like you and I used to, Pearl, and you're going on holiday for a fortnight and you're really looking forward to it, those last 2 or 3 days before you go on holiday, you shift mountains of work because you don't want to come back to it. Parkinson's law found that we fill the time we have available. So if we have 4 hours, then we'll take 4 hours to do the job. This is why if you have an empty day, you think, right, I'm going to clear my diary for the whole day so I can. But because you've got the whole day, you will think, I think I'll have a lie-in. And then you think, I have a bacon sandwich. I better go and get some bacon from the shop. I'll have a bacon sandwich before I start. And then you think, oh, what's that on TV? I might just watch that. And before you know it, it's 4 o'clock in the afternoon and you've done absolutely nothing because you had all day. So my thing is, and if you do the challenge, you'll find this, 3 tasks a day of less than half an hour, and you'll be surprised how much work you get done. That's 4 Ps. So we've got Pareto, we've got perfectionism, procrastination, Parkinson's law, and the 5th one is progression. Do you want to procrastinate or progress? Do you want to get it perfect or do you want to progress? So one of Tony's senior trainers is a gentleman called Joseph McClendon III, and he is as phenomenal and charismatic as Tony is himself. And Joseph McClendon III will say, go further, faster. And that is one of the things that I teach, because if you don't take the step, you won't learn and you won't make progress. You have to take the step and then you learn faster. What I teach to all my clients is when you planning on your program, don't get it perfect because you'll never get it out. And if you do put it out and you think it's perfect and somebody says, oh, well, you've not got that, or it should have that, or that's spelt wrong, you take it personally because it's your baby, because you've put so much time in. So I accept it should not have spelling mistakes. I do get that, but you can take imperfect action because the minute you run it, believe you me, it does not pan out like you thought it would. There will be so much that you can learn from it. In fact, I'm going to put you on the spot now, Pearl. You ran your 3-day challenge. Having got to the end of your 3-day challenge, were you able to see things that would make it better, easier, smoother? Was there anything that you would change?
I don't think I'd change. I'd probably add more. It gave me a really good grounding. Plus, from that, where I do the Serenity Radio and we had to plan our 12-week show, that plan of the 12 weeks I've now implemented. That was part of my 3-day challenge. It's part of the courses that I'm pulling together. It's part of my 3-day masterminds that I'm going to do. So yes, it's like you say, you have one thing and you can add it to everything else. So yes, I definitely, there are things that I could add to that. Would I do certain things differently? Yes, maybe I would. But it's trial and error and actually seeing what works for you and the way your routine fits into things. And I find like you're brilliant with lives. You are fantastic at Facebook Lives, whereas I find I fit work better with a recorded video, because that then gives me media to add to YouTube and everything, and I can do my snazzy introduction and everything. But you see, I'm still thinking corporate. I still think certain things that I had to do for corporate, so I still do that. But yes. Sorry, that was a roundabout way of answering your questions.
And the moral of my story was that you can spend all your time making something perfect, but the minute you run it, you realise that there's so much more you can do different or add in, or you do it a different way, or it takes longer than you thought it would, or shorter than you thought it would. By taking action, and this is what Tony will tell you, you have to take massive action. That's when you get the most learning. And it's phenomenal. It's absolutely phenomenal. So, take this. This is something that I also share in that, okay, I personally I've got 20 years of corporate background, and I was quite successful in that background, had all the corporate training, learnt so much, etc. I've done the Tony Robbins training, I've done the EAM training. In my head, the way I describe it is they are plant pots of flowers. Okay, so Tony is one plant pot, EAM is another plant pot, and my corporate knowledge is another plant pot. But what I have to do, and I think this is something that some people, I hope it's an aha moment for a lot of people. I think sometimes consistent learners are trying to find the answer, and there is no one answer. What you have to do is I take little bits from what Tony taught, and little bits from what EAM taught, and little bits from corporate, and I make a flower bed. And that is the Stephanism. So all these things that I've trialed and errored and failed at, I now teach what I do that's got me to where I am today. And you will be dipping into my flower bed. And I show you all the different flowers in my flower bed, rather than trying to teach you the flower pots. Does that make sense?
It makes perfect sense. And this is why when I asked you the question about, and I brought in the Tony Robbins piece and everything, I wanted the listener, and I know, because I know you so well, because we've worked so closely together, this lady is so knowledgeable. Yes, you bring in certain processes that you've learnt from different areas, but what you deliver, what you share with people is all yours. And that the intellect, the knowledge, the information you share, it's just wonderful. And just, I watch, like I say, I've been there from when you first did your first challenge. And when I watch, all right, we do it on Zoom currently, but if we get the chance to actually fill a room where people get to meet, you watch the way people gyrate to see Steph, the way suddenly the light bulb goes on and they see and they understand, and the excitement that's generated. There are very few people that can do that, and this lady is one of them. One very
Thank you.
special lady.
Yes, I have found that when I'm at Tony's events or at EAM events, etc., people do come to find me out, to seek me, to ask me questions. They look to me for guidance, etc., which is a wonderful feeling. And it helps me, even having achieved what I've achieved, there are moments, and I will say moments rather than days, weeks and months, there are moments where you think, oh dear, I'm not sure I've got this right. Oh dear, I'm not sure I'm doing it right, etc. And then I repeat my mantra. Repeat my mantra to myself, and I think, no, I will show you my mantra in a minute. But when these people come and ask me questions and I'm able to answer them, that's when I know that I know my stuff. And it makes a huge difference. It makes a huge difference when people can ask you and you can just stand there and answer the question straight off. It's a wonderful feeling. You know your stuff.
Yeah.
My mantra. One of the things that I do and teach my clients is to have a mantra. It is only for you. Nobody else has to hear it, see it, read it. It's for you. But the moral of it is, if you don't believe in yourself, who will? I'm going to say, would you like to hear my mantra, Pearl? I bet you do, don't you?
I love Steph's mantra. To the listeners, this is one. When I first heard it, I asked Steph to repeat it a few times because I wrote it down because it was brilliant.
Are you ready?
Yes.
I am phenomenal. I can do anything I want. I listen to my instinct and act on it. All that I need is within me now.
Brilliant.
There you go.
Absolutely brilliant. And you do that. You instill that. You live and breathe that.
I do.
In everything you teach.
Mm-hmm.
And it's you. It's everything you share. It's there in your mantra. It's just brilliant.
Thank you. Yes, I must admit, I thoroughly enjoy it. I really, really do. I thoroughly enjoy it. So, yeah. Anyway, going back to the flower bed. Okay. So hopefully there's an aha moment for the listeners in that don't go looking for one solution. What you do is you pick the bits that work and then create your own flower bed. But there are pockets of things that I do separately, standalone. And recently, I've been doing the energy alignment method of cleaning money. So cleaning the money of negative energy and releasing glass ceilings and walls from bank accounts. And it's been proving very, very successful. So, I've had people get in touch with me and say, well, I've just suddenly found X amount in here and I've now got this and I've now got that. And doing the work with the clients, and I do this as a freebie, just as a freebie, because I think it's something nice to give back, and it's always nice to talk about money, isn't it? I had a letter through the post, and it appears the tax man is going to give me some money back, so I'm saying thank you very much. So this stuff works. So I do clearing money, but I also do how to slow down time. And I know we can't literally and figuratively slow down time, but we can change our mindset using EAM to allow us to fit everything in. And I use it quite a bit to make sure that I get everything done. And it's good fun. And it's just a way of getting to know me and getting to know other people in the group without it costing any money, etc. It's just a freebie that I give away if anybody wants to know about it. There you go. I think I've covered everything I wanted to share now. So let's see what else we're going to talk about.
Well, this is where I was going to say, now you've shared with the audience what's been happening since we last had the podcast interview. What does the next 3 to 6 months look like for Stephenie Thompson? What can we get excited about? What's there in the future?
Right. Well, what I didn't share with you is in the last 90 days, I will answer that question. In the last 90 days, my VIP client count has doubled from when we last spoke. I would like it to double again in the next 3 months. So that would be very nice. Thank you very much. And I think it's probably about 90 days I was really getting into the swing. Oh, my first membership, the Get Focused membership, the first masterclass was the 1st of May, and we spoke at the end of April, didn't we? Yeah. So I've launched my membership in the last 90 days, and I've got some fantastic things in there. So the first masterclass was the mechanics of a 5-day challenge. I've got how to find your tribe. I've got ideal client. I've got, numbers, colours and names, visual management by another name, not numbers, names, colours and logos. That's right, names, colours and logos, visual management, visual branding by another name. Anyway, that's what's in the membership. So that's taken off since we last spoke. And I've got wonderful souls in there, again, from all over the world. And I would like to double that number in the next 3 months too. So that's where I'm going with that. And within 6 months, I would like to bring in another program. So I've got the Get Focused Vault, which is the membership. I've got the Get Cracking VIP, which is the 60 steps in 4 weeks to get new coaches up and running. And at the moment, I'm not going to share anything, but I'm thinking about another program that I'm going to be launching, and that's probably going to be October time. In the meantime, I'm going to be doing Energy Vision Days. I am definitely going to be doing Energy Vision Days. I love my Energy Vision boards. They are phenomenal what they show to me, and I get very excited about them, especially when I see when it's coming true. So I will be running a couple of those between now and the end of the year too.
And yes, they are brilliant. I've taken part in one of Steph's Vision Days. Well, we did a vision board, didn't we, over Zoom?
That's right.
And that was brilliant. And it was so much fun. And the way Steph teaches that, it puts a whole new spin on the whole idea. Because most people only do a vision board the beginning of the year, and then they don't revisit it. Whereas the way you teach it, you do it more regularly, don't you?
I do a new vision board at least every 6 months. And I always check what was on the last vision board that needs to go on the next vision board. And I've had a couple of things that have come through all the years that I've done it. I've always had to have what a difference a year makes. That has been brought forward on every board that I've done. And good things come to those who do the work is another thing. So going back to our original conversation, we can do all the learning. Tony Robbins will say, is knowledge power? And those who've not been in Tony's arena will say, yes. And he'll say, no, it's not. He'll say, knowledge is only power if you do something with it. And that means taking massive action. And you, Pearl, and I are the ladies that take the action and make the difference and get to where we are today. And that makes a huge, huge difference.
Yeah, completely agree with that.
Yeah.
Completely agree with that. This lady is fantastic. And the stuff we've learned, and I know from the amount of people that have listened to your first podcast and to see just what you've achieved in that time.
It is phenomenal. I am so grateful. You know, when I very first did, I think we were talking earlier, I think I was one of your very first podcasters, and my business was going at such a rate at the time. But if you'd have asked me then what I know now, I would never have believed it. But what it's done has opened my eyes up to what can be achieved in the next 6 months and the next 18 months. And yes, I have a big vision. Going forward, I know exactly where I'm going, what I want to do. And I also know that I don't want to expand too widely. I want to be able to do, because I enjoy every aspect of my business. But if you don't enjoy every aspect of your business, then there are so many people out there that can help. You know, web designers and the graphic designers and the VAs, they all have a service to offer. So, yeah, I've got to where I am today through sheer hard work under my own steam, and for that I'm very, very grateful, and I'm really looking forward to the next 6 months. That's really exciting. Pearl, what are you doing for the next 6 months, sweetheart? What's your plans?
Well, I'm doing my Pearls of Wisdom virtual online retreat. That is going to be every 3 months. The first one is on the 5th and 6th of September, and each time it will cover business, spirituality and well-being. So people have the chance to fit into whichever, as an exhibitor, they can fit into one of those or all 3 of those, and it should reach a very wide-ranging audience. But what I'm aiming to share for September is positivity post-lockdown. All we've heard with COVID is doom and gloom. When you look now, everyone's saying about how the economies have gone down. But I'm of an age, I've seen one recession, maybe the start of 2. But there's always people that do well in a recession as well. So instead of having the doom and gloom, I want to help people grow their business and build from there. And I've got my 3-day VIP Elite Masterminds that I will be launching soon. I know I shared it on my 3-day challenge, but the retreats is so taking off. That's my baby at the minute. But I know I'm also going to be, I'm pulling together courses, because everything that I do on a one-to-one niche elite level, I also want to offer at different budgets, so that if it's an online course, people can study it as and when their time allows, but they can still get the information from it. It's just depending whether they want to go in, get it all done quickly, get out and put it into practice, or if they want to do it. It depends how they learn. If they want to do it that bit at that time, it's whatever fits with them. So that's what I'm looking forward to.
And you know, I remember, because when you very, very first joined my first challenge, and I've watched you grow as I've grown myself, and I remember having a conversation with you, and you were stuck on your ideal client. Now, when I see that you're planning these international retreats, it is just phenomenal how you have grown and evolved too. And you hit a point there really, really well, because obviously I come from a business. Even though I've got a bit of woo-woo, I'm more business orientated. You hit a real point there, because you are aware that your client has different requirements, different time available, etc. And you're adapting what you teach so that it suits them or suits their budget, etc. And that's a brilliant approach. You know, it's good to have that flexibility. Yes, we can all sit and say, right, VAP is going to be £15,000, but not everybody can afford £15,000, but they want the training because they resonate with you. So if you can break it down into smaller bits, it makes a world of difference. So yes, you hit a real point there. So well done on that one, sweetheart. Very, very well done.
Thank you. Thank you. I mean, also, I mean, you've noticed, I didn't realise, I always thought it was part of my social media piece that I do, but I seem to network well. Not me going out to just meet everyone. When I bring people together, that seems to be a gift I have, hence the podcast, where I have as many guests as possible. And I'm getting 5 or 6 guests every week that I'm doing the interviews with now, because people are coming to me because they know that the audience, I can get them in front of the best audience possible. And that's my gift to everyone. And this is why I just love doing that.
And I think you said that you network well, which you do. But I think your real skill, your unique skill, is you connect people, and that is just phenomenal. Yes, I appreciate your social media has enormous reach, but you know the people and you connect them and you get them talking. And this podcast has just been phenomenal. I know I'm not the only one to say that businesses benefit from being on here. So if anybody is thinking about it, then Pearl is definitely a podcast you want to take part in, most definitely, because this lady has those connections that when you're first starting out or when you're established and you want to grow and expand, this lady can help you so much. It's phenomenal. And that is why I'm so interested in the retreat that you're putting on, because it's international, it's got reach. It's like being the radio presenters that we are. We're in 44 different countries, but we don't actually get to see those people. We just know that they're listening. Whereas in the retreat, it's a lot more intimate, and you can share a lot more, and you can see them on Zoom and you can interact with them and this sort of thing. Tony has just, because of COVID, Tony has just started doing his events are 15,000 people. And he's doing it online to 22,000 people this next week. I think it's starting now. And he stands there and he's got these massive screens with all these people in little matchbox-sized pictures. And it's a phenomenal picture. The reach that we have today in this day and age of technology, and when we have somebody like you in our circle, the reach is out of this world. And that's why I say, yes, you are brilliant at networking, Pearl, absolutely brilliant. It's connection. You are superb at connection, and that's why people want to be in front of you, because you connect people. You're wonderful. I love it. I love it.
Thank you so much. Oh, I'm getting goosebumps, and all the listeners, Steph knows me, and I say about my goosebumps and everything, and it just feels so special. But this is why I love bringing people onto the podcast and just sharing. And whatever we say, someone out there is going to resonate with. Probably a lot more than the one person. There will be many people. And this is where I say the ideal thing with the podcast as well, because it's recorded and it's there, you can come back to it. And if it's like with a meditation or something, if there's something that is really uplifting to you, you don't have to listen to it just the once. And I do encourage people to listen to the podcast more than once, because the amount of information that Steph has shared, yes, you can sit there with a pen and paper, but quite often you don't get it all the first time. So you can listen, you can pick up other things. And this is where it's so lovely. It's there. It's a constant. You can go back to it and you can learn. And depending on your mood and where your own journey is taking you, something new will resonate with you each time you listen, because you're at a different place and your mood is in a different place. And so different things will just come to you. And this is what I love.
Absolutely. It's like reading a favourite book or watching your favourite film. You can watch it 20 times or read it 20 times, but you'll still see something else. You'll still see something different, because you as an individual are in a different place and different things resonate. So I think it's fabulous. I love the fact that we can watch it again. And that's why my VIP program, Get Cracking VIP, once you're in it for life, and you can come back time and time again and join in on the calls, because there'll be something new each time that will resonate with you as you go on your own personal journey. And I love the fact that they can do that and they don't have to start paying again. That's my gift to my clients. So yeah, it's fabulous, absolutely fabulous. And I'm Stephanie Thompson, as we've said, and I'm Stephenie Thompson Coaching, because then that way it's dead easy to go and find me on the website, or it's very easy to go and find me on Facebook. Just stick in Stephenie Thompson, Get Focused Fast, or Stephenie Thompson Coaching. You'll find me wherever. I'm there. Come and join me. Come and say hello. It would be lovely. And make sure that you look out for Pearl's retreat, because you need to participate in that too, because you'll learn so much. I mean, I already know some of the clients that you're talking with who are going to be speakers at the event, and it's going to be absolutely out of this world. It's going to be so packed with information and knowledge and the experience of those people that are going to be speaking. And if I remember correctly, please make sure I've got this right, there's an opportunity to talk to the speakers at the end of the day, isn't there?
Yeah, what there is, for the attendee, there's a VIP ticket for the whole 2 the 2 days, but the VIP ticket allows you to network with the exhibitors and the sponsors. So I'm going to have like a forum area. We might do it over Zoom. We can do it loads of different ways. But yes, it gives you the chance as the audience member to actually engage, and it helps the other exhibitors connect, because you never know, there might be something you can offer 2 services together, top and tail, and see if you can help each other. And this is, again, something that could come from the retreat. And it's that building that business, that positivity post-lockdown.
Yeah. And some of your clients, some of your guest speakers are very spiritual, which I'm not. I'm very business. But that's fine, because there's a place for everything. My approach is, I'm very structured. Do this step, then do this step, then do this step. Give me a template, I'll follow it. And that's what I do for my clients in the Get Cracking VIP. I give them a structure to go through, a step at a time each day, and follow through. And it gets results. It really does get results. And you're doing just the same. You're offering these opportunities, and it's just making a huge difference. So yeah, we're doing great. I love it. I absolutely love it. And Pearl, you can ring me 5 times a day, anytime you want, sweetheart, which is where we started. Oh, dear.
It's been brilliant. And I've just seen the time. We've been speaking for an hour. It's just whizzed.
Wow.
It really has flown. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to ask you one more question, Steph.
Okay.
For the audience, because we've got such a range of people that are listening, is there anything that any of the audience members could do to help you, Steph? If there's one thing you want to move forward, there might be someone in the audience that is listening. Is there something that you'd like to do? I know I've put you on the spot because I didn't ask you to prep for that one.
That I'd like to do, or I'd like them to do for me?
A bit of both. You could answer it either way.
Okay. What I would like to offer to anybody who's listening, if you know somebody who is on the fence or keeps putting it off about becoming a coach, they've worked with their mates, they've worked with their friends and family, they've got fantastic results, and they're just hiding, and they're sitting there thinking, I can't do this, I can't do that. For heaven's sake, get them to come and talk to me. You can go onto the website, you can book a 30-minute chat with me. Just let me get them started, because that's what I'm all about. I'm all about taking that first step, getting visible, getting out there, and I will support them as much as I can, most definitely. What can I get people to do for me? Just spread the word. Just spread the word. I would like to offer, I've got the 5-day challenge, which will be coming up at the end of August. I've got the EAM cleaning money. I've got the EAM slowing down time. If they are of any use to you, get in touch, come onto the website, book a time with me, whatever, and I will more than happily share those free of charge, because, I just want to help as many people as I possibly can. That's why my membership is so competitively priced, because I want to help more people. It's not all about the amount of money they're paying, it's what they're getting from it, so that they can grow into their future potential, because they've got it, they just need to know how to do it. I take away all that overwhelm and just tell them, do this, now do this, now do that, and I'll get them to where I am today.
That is absolutely perfect. Wonderful. And now, it leaves me to say thank you, Stephanie. Thank you, Steph. That was absolutely brilliant. So,
thank you so much. I've thoroughly enjoyed it. I can't believe an hour's gone. I thought it was 5 minutes. But yes, we've covered an awful lot in that hour, actually. There's an awful lot of information that I've shared in there about setting up. And the 5 Ps. Here's your quiz. What was the 5 Ps? Not you, Pill, just the listener.
Oh, that is wonderful, wonderful. And I say to the audience, we will make sure that we will be having Steph back more regularly, because 3 months is far too long with us not hearing her lovely voice and actually getting all the knowledge and getting her to share it with us. So thank you, Steph. Thank you.
Thank you, Pearl. Thank you so much. It's been an honour. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you for listening to the Pearls of Wisdom podcast. We hope you have enjoyed the content shared. Please share with others who would like to enjoy these interviews and discussions. If you would like to support the podcast, please follow the link in the episode description. If you want to be a guest on the show, reach out and let's discuss next steps. Until the next time, enjoy your listening.